During the Buddha's time, there was a monk named Daba who was responsible for giving rice to other monks. Sometimes the rice was of high quality, and sometimes it was not. Either way, Daba would apportion it evenly to all. Whenever a particular elder monk named Udayi received high-quality rice, he would be content. However, when he received rice of lesser quality, he would become irritated and agitated. In the communal eating halls, Elder Udayi would publicly complain about Daba whenever he received lower quality rice. After this occurred several times, Daba finally challenged the Elder Udayi to take over and do a better job. And so, Udayi became the one to distribute rice to the monks. But because his systems were faulty, he could not tell which rice was inferior and which was superior. The elders no longer received high-quality rice, and Udayi did not properly manage the supply of rice. Because he gave the rice according to his whims, many issues arose in the monks' order. Finally, some of the younger monks and novices could no longer bear the ineptitude and injustice. They physically removed Udayi from his post since he refused to give it up. There was a great uproar, and the noise reached the Buddha. The Buddha asked his personal attendant, Ananda, what the noise was about. The elder Ananda explained it all to the Buddha. The Buddha then said, "Ananda, this is not the only time when Udayi, by his stupidity, has robbed others of their profit. He did the same thing in past lives." And upon hearing this, the elder Ananda asked the Blessed One for an explanation, and the Blessed One revealed the truth that has been concealed by rebirth. The Buddha then told this story. Once upon a time, there was a king named Brahmadatta reigning in the country of Benares, in a city called Kasi. In those days, the Bodhisattva was the royal valuer. This valuer would set the price for horses, elephants, jewels, and gold that were to be traded, bought, and sold at the royal court. The king was very greedy and was unhappy that the royal valuer was always honest and fair. If a horse was worth a lot of gold, he would pay the proper amount for it. This often irked the king, since all he wanted to see was profits and not fairness. The king felt that the more money he paid, the less profit he would make. The king called the royal valuer to him and said, "Look here, you keep paying the people too much. How will I ever be able to grow my profits? You must push the price down when we pay, and raise the price high when we sell. Do you not know how to do business?" The Bodhisattva responded, "My lord, I only seek to be truthful and fair. If the horse or goods are worth 10 gold pieces, I pay 10 gold pieces. If their goods are worth 20 gold pieces, I buy them for 20 gold pieces." The king was furious. He yelled, "That sounds ridiculous. You alone are preventing my kingdom from becoming rich through trade." So the king Brahmadatta decided to find a new royal valuer. He went out to his balcony that overlooked the market. There, he saw a man greatly underpaying for goods from various merchants. The king saw this and thought, "This man will bring me riches if he is my valuer." So the king summoned the Bodhisattva to tell him that he was fired from his post as royal valuer. The new greedy valuer had no honor or wisdom. He had no knowledge of the true price of goods. He would merely determine the value based on what he wanted to pay or buy. For expensive and valuable things such as elephants, he would set the price at a few gold pieces. Since he was the royal valuer, his word would set the value of the goods, and therefore the merchants and travelers could not argue. Many merchants and traders were massively underpaid for their goods. They were very shocked and surprised. All this, however, led to massive profits for the king. When he saw the mounds of riches accumulated from underpaying and overcharging merchants and traders, the king was delighted. All he could think about was what he could do with all the money. He did not spare a single thought for all the people who were cheated. At that time, a horse merchant from the north traveled to Kasi with 500 horses. When the king saw the quality of the horses, he wanted to buy all of them. However, seeing their high quality, the king knew that this could put a large dent in the royal treasury. He signaled his royal valuer. After a few moments of feigned valuation, the valuer set the price as a small bag of rice. The horse trader was shocked, but he knew he could not argue with the king's royal valuer without angering the king. He had no choice but to sell all 500 high-quality horses for a single small bag of rice. The horse merchant scoured the city looking for help and came across the Bodhisattva. He told the Bodhisattva what had happened and asked for advice. The Bodhisattva came up with a plan, and the horse trader was eager to do anything he could to recoup his losses. First, the horse merchant went back to the greedy valuer and offered him a large bribe. The horse merchant spoke exactly as the Bodhisattva had instructed him.
Wise valuer, we all know that 500 high-quality horses are worth a mere handful of rice. This is known. However, we're curious if you could state the true value of a handful of rice in the king's presence.
The greedy valuer took the bribe and said,
"Oh, that would be easy. I would be happy to be of service."
Then the greedy valuer was taken to the palace in front of the Bodhisattva and many high-standing Brahmins. He was asked by the horse merchant,
"Wise and trusted valuer of the king, earlier you told us my 500 horses of high quality are worth a handful of rice. Now, great king, can you ask your valuer to tell us the true value of a handful of rice?"
The king then turned to his greedy royal valuer and said,
"Valuer, how much are 500 horses of high quality worth?" "Ah, that is clear and known, my lord. They are obviously worth a handful of rice." "Very well. Now tell us, what is the true value of a handful of rice?"
The greedy valuer thought for a second, remembered the lavish bribe, then confidently said, "My lord, the true value of a handful of rice is all the lands of Benares and everything it contains." The greedy valuer, not being a smart person, was very pleased with himself. He had given the king what he thought the king wanted, and now he had given the horse merchant what he thought the horse merchant wanted. The king, however, was not pleased at all to hear that his entire kingdom was valued at a mere handful of rice. All the Brahmins in attendance heard this ludicrous logic and could not contain their laughter. Some said,
"We used to think Benares was a great and priceless kingdom. Now we know it is only worth a handful of rice."
The king, greatly embarrassed, turned to his former honest valuer for help. The Bodhisattva then said, "My lord, when asked how much a handful of rice is worth, we were told all of Benares. When asked how much 500 high-quality horses was worth, we were told a handful of rice. How could 500 high-quality horses be worth as much as the entire kingdom? We have a fool in our midst. If we place our trust in fools, then we in turn will be made a fool." The king angrily had the greedy valuer stripped of his office and forcibly removed from the throne room. The king eagerly gave the Bodhisattva back his original position. The Bodhisattva made sure to pay the horse merchant a fair price for 500 high-quality horses. The Bodhisattva continued to be fair and just, and after he died, he was reborn according to the karma he had created. What did you learn from this story? We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads.